Hey, peace and blessings for whoever might happen to be watching this. My name is Butch Gibson, and some stuff been on my mind for a while about skating, roller skating, and I had been kind of meaning to put together something just to kind of get it out of my own system, and maybe put it out there in the world and see if somebody's got some thoughts on it. And so, after seeing a couple things on Facebook and on social media, I thought now might be a good time. So my face is not important, so I'm gonna switch up here to what I was talking about, and that's the rink here. And you know what? I'll just come back to myself in the sense that give you a little background. I started skating back in like 1975. I started DJing back in 1985. So I just kind of been around, and I've seen a lot happen. And I guess the reason for some of this video, and I need to go back to the graphic though, is just that kind of coming back to skating after being gone for a couple of years. At least to me, it seems like it's a different landscape to try to navigate. That there's a lot of different people that are in the same session, and I don't know, is that anybody's fault? Nobody's fault. I'm not trying to blame anybody. I'm just pointing it out. Like, it's a lot of different people that are there, and so it's a different landscape that you have to try to navigate if you want to successfully make it through the crowd. But skating has changed over the years, and I think that we've got a lower level of excitement and lower attendance, and you got rinks all around the country, maybe even around the world. I'm not sure, but just in this area, had 3, maybe 4 major roller skating rinks that closed down. So, but anyway, I want to just kind of get at the difficulty that I was having at navigating, and I just try to accept it. Like when I go to McDonald's, I look at what's on the menu, I order from the menu. I don't try to say, hey, why don't you have a Whopper here at McDonald's instead of the Big Mac? Which I just take it as it comes. That's no dig or no shot at anybody. That's just where I'm coming from. So let me go back to this. So, like in a regular rink, it's most of it is just rectangular in this fashion, and with that rectangular rink, you usually have. Let me just grab a little brush here. I guess a brush, right? And I guess normally the rotation and most people kind of go in this direction here around the rink, right? So I'll just draw that all the way around, right? So you normally got this area in the middle here. You got a line, but that's probably a black line, but we'll just let it be red. You kind of got a black line around the center here. Am I oversimplifying it? Maybe, but you got that black line. That's it should be black. Once you go, yeah, once you go black. Oh, once you go red, you can't go back. Anyway, so let's make it black. And so supposedly the center area is just I won't even say what it is. Just a black line around it. So right. So you got the majority of the crowd going around in a circle, counterclockwise direction in most of these places, right? And what I find is a little difficult to navigate because I don't know, maybe just years ago I went to a rink and we just skated down the middle, and it's always a little challenge once you get here because you got to go through traffic, but you cut through traffic, come back, wind it back up, and go back down the middle, and once you come around here you just kind of do the same thing. Right? So for me, that has always just been a thing. It's just that's the pattern in which I skate down the middle, and I'm able to navigate. But what I've kind of discovered is let me pick a different color here. I've kind of discovered let's make it green. I've kind of discovered that there are some folks that will and I guess this has always been like this, but some folks will do this little half circle thing where they cut through down here and back again, and they may continue around the rink, but once they get down into the lower area, they come back around and cut through here. Now, and usually they're going this way, and up here they're going this way. This graphic is getting crazy now, right? So you got to watch out for that. Now, wherever you're skating, if you are skating around the rink, you got to watch out for those folks. You got to watch out for this guy like me coming down the middle. And then you got to watch out for those folks that randomly do this end of the rink circle thing. But then, in addition to that, let's pick another color. Let's pick blue. In addition to that, sometimes you'll have people that will kind of congregate, and they'll congregate like down here, and sometimes in the middle. But I'll reserve that for another color. So when you congregate in these areas, can I do a fill? Can I do a fill with that? Can I fill that with a color? Oh, look at that. So I can feel that color, right? So you got people that are like filling up this area right here, right? And that creates, in my opinion, as you see over here, you got the green where, and I probably should have made it bigger, because over here, same thing. You got, if you're trying to skate either kind of way, down the middle, or if you're doing that end of the thing, circle, folks that are congregating right there inside that center area are often in the way. And then there's another kind of thing that happens here, and I'm going to try to make this again a different color. Go back to my brush, and sometimes you get, and it's kind of in this kind of area here, right? Or this kind of area here. Now it may be different in other areas of the country or around the world. Ooh, I can do a fill with that too, I think. Bam, bam. I'm gonna put a little right there. All right. Okay. So sometimes you got people there, and you know what? Go back to my brush, do a different color, and I'm gonna like mark them out. Okay. So like here, they over here. These are people skating, right? And they doing this I don't know, this dance or whatever. And sometimes not only will they be here, but they'll be here too, right? And so again, my diagram may not necessarily show, but look, if I just take the X's on over here, look right there, bam. You got this cross-pollination problem that's going on here. And actually I could probably bring this all the way over here, because that's kind of accurate, and that's really what I'm trying to show, is that this bam, look at that, they all over here, all up in this area, is that what happens is that so many of these things overlap, so many of the folks, whatever they're doing, it overlaps. And the challenge with the navigation there is just all this overlap. And then there's also there's a thing here, and people call it slow walking, right? So what can that be in a different color? So we'll make that orange. So the slow walkers can sometimes start on the outside, and they always talk about the faster skaters go to the outside, slower skaters go to the inside. The slow walkers will at times, let's just pick an area, they will just kind of start on a slow kind of record and start slow walking around the rink, and that in itself, I'm making these little X's, these little crude drawings or whatever, it's just a bit of a challenge to navigate. Now, if you're out there, you got your little, you new to this and you're not going too fast, it may not be an issue. But if you, a little more seasoned, you out there and you got your roll on or whatever, you just have to watch out. You just have to make it past. And so my whole point of this is just that this new skating era that seems to combine many people not just many people, but you got different. Not necessarily genres, but you got different age groups, you got different styles, you got some jam skaters, you got some slow walkers, you got some dancers, you got some speed skaters, and I haven't even touched on all of that. I guess I don't think I have, because the speed skaters, well, they're just all over the place, going fast, doing anything, but looking for some feedback. What you think about this? And I'll tell you what I think is, as I mentioned early on, again, it's not about me, but I'm just, putting a face to the conversation here, that I think it has to do with popularity of skating, that in the area where I'm at, half, if not more, of the rinks have closed down. And so the number of skaters, are kind of crammed into the few skating sessions that are left. And I went online and I was checking. Did I go online? Let's see. Yeah, I did. Oh well, yeah, we can talk about that in a minute too. But I went online. Where was it? I don't know if my what you call it is working now. Let's see. Look up the skating place. Let's see. All right. So this joint called The Place. Now, see, there you go. There's a what the rink looks like or whatever. But so anyway, let's go over here to, is it hours? I looked at this before. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. Like, it shows the hour of the operation, right? And this is another thing. And I'm not necessarily going to beat up on The Place, but there's a thing about, in my opinion, about communication. So, like, you go to the website and it says, hey, Wednesdays 1 to 9 p.m. Well, wait a minute, where is the session? There we go. So 9 p.m. only addresses the family skate, but does not address, if that's all you're looking at, the hour operation, you got to scroll down and you see adult skate. So with this in mind, this adult skate right here, sometimes what I've seen in the past, adult skate just meant that. And at the particular rink where I was going to, they just served beer. So you had to be 21 to get in there, and so it was an adult crowd. But then they also had a teen night, and then they also had a top 40 night. So we knew that there might have been 3 different nights of skating, but that it was. We know which one to go to because of what was advertised. Teen night was Tuesday night, and adult night was Sunday night, and top 40 was Saturday night. Let me look at something else. Orbit. I saw something on Orbit's website, which there's Orbit. Maybe it wasn't there. Let's see. Maybe it was somewhere else. Let's see. Maybe it was on there. Jumping on Facebook is really challenging and quite the nightmare at times, because you never know what other people are posting. Man, I'm unable to find this right now, but because I thought they would have it here. Oh, well, here's a schedule on the actual website. Maybe. Is it working? Okay, so it's working. They had a Sunday night session. Adult skate 21 and up, 9 to 1. Well, I don't see the flyer. But the key was that the flyer showed that it was that they played old school vinyl during the beginning of the session, and that's sometimes what I think is happening, is that in addition to all of this whole challenge here of how to get around the rink, is that there's communication. And I think, in my opinion, there's kind of a lack of communication, and I could be wrong, but I think there's a lack of communication from the actual rink owners to give us an indication of what's actually happening. So, if I go out there on a Wednesday night, and I heard that Wednesday night at Skating Place was adult old school night. That's what I heard. Their website does not reflect that. And really, I don't know. I'm just going out there to skate. So really, I mean, it don't really matter to me, you know. But I find that a lot of people are complaining for some reason. But you know what? And that's what another thing I was gonna look at over here. And you know, this is there's no intent here. But you know, I just saw this post. I don't even know how I saw it. I think it was like a friend suggestion or something like that or whatever. And you know, it says we need new music to skate to in Cincinnati ASAP. Just switch it up a little bit. You know, I'm not. I agree. I agree with that. And you know, if anything, man, this is getting all long-winded and sordid. But I never claimed to be sane. I never claimed to have organization inside my head there, right? So, but I agree with that. You know, and if I've been going out there probably like a year, maybe it's been a year out to this Wednesday night session, and well, this is getting all off on the other things, but I complained on a regular basis about what was happening, and I felt like my complaint was a legitimate complaint. It wasn't necessarily about what dude was playing, because they had one guy up there that was an employee of the rink, and my complaint was that he was playing literally, and I asked, you know, out of professional respect, I asked, hey man, what's going on? Are you know, is that a tape you playing? And he was like, oh yeah, it's a playlist. I'm like, playlist, you know, so like you playing the same playlist like every week? Yeah, and it depends on how many people are here. I don't, if nobody's here, I just let the playlist run. And you know, non-scientific methods, I just happen to notice sometimes that would be 30, depending on what time I got there, 30 minutes up to 90 minutes that he would just let that playlist play. And I'm like, you just press play and let the playlist run. And I could tell, you know, like there was certain records that would come up all the time at the same time. Like what was that? Ja Rule. Like every week at the same time. What was the other one? Warren G. Regulators. Like every week at the same time. And so I complained. First I went to dude directly. I was like, hey man, is that a playlist you playing? Do you mind? Can you switch it up? He's like, oh well, I might run out of music. I don't want to, you know. And I'm not. That's probably derogatory for me to imitate him in that way. But I was heated. Like, what do you mean you run out of music, man? There's people here of all age brackets. You got music you could play from anywhere and everywhere. I could understand if you was only playing new music that came out this week. You know, there's only so many songs that came out this week for you to be able to play and potentially just run out of music. I get that. But looking at the crowd, you got a whole gamut of people that you could play, you know, just say music from this decade or whatever. And it would, you know, you would never run out of music. But anyway, that was his excuse. I complained to him. I complained to the owner's son, or the owner's grandson, whatever his name is, Eric. I complained to Eric. I complained to the manager, Renee. Like, all I wanted was stop playing that playlist. Mix it up. That's what kind of brought me to, you know, Travis's comment here where he said, you know, switch it up a little bit. You know, and I felt the same way. Like, just switch it up. Can you not play the same song time after time after time at the same time? I was heated. So when I complained to the DJ. I complained to the owner's grandson's son. I thought he was like the DJ manager. I don't know. I complained to the manager of the night, Renee. I had the owner's phone number still on my phone. You know, so I called him. I called him 3 times and complained about that. Not to, you know, I ain't trying to get nobody to lose their job. I just want the music, just switch up. I felt disrespected, you know? Like, if everybody got paid their money to get in here, they should get something out of it, you know? And I done DJ'd in that place before. Man, I'm going off on tangents, but I'm just kind of thinking of like some of the comments on Travis's, you know, when he commented, the resulting comments under that. Like, somebody said, what'd they say? They said, where'd it go? ongoing complaint for years, the music been bad since the Fun Factory closed. I mean, that's subjective, you know what I mean? And I think that there are other factors there, and I ain't trying to beat up on nobody. I'm just pointing these out, you know, that all of it is legit that stems from this, that like switch it up a little bit, you know. What's the other thing? Is it why don't they let the younger DJs play? And what was the other one that somebody said they tell them what to play? And you know, I don't know if that's accurate. You know, it depends on what the session is. It depends on what the session is defined. If the session is defined as adult old school, then the DJ in theory should play that kind of mixture, adult old school, if that's what the session is described as. That's what I thought it was, but like I said, they website does not reflect that. Wherever their website was at, the website does not reflect that. It merely says adult skate, and you know, this may be true worldwide. You know, I'm going off on like I'm laser focused with a particular skating night that I attend, and you know, maybe I shouldn't be. You know, but it's something to consider, that there are other factors involved in just what might be. It's just other factors behind the scenes. You know, there's a legitimate thing, and I agree. Like, so say for instance, if it's 80%, if 80 to 90% of the attendees are, let's say, 20s and 30s, then the music should reflect that. You know, if you got 10 to 20% of people, you know, over 30, over 40, over 50, 60, then, you know, maybe only that percentage of music should be played. You know, or just have another old school night. If it's gonna be old school, make it old school. If it's gonna be new school, make it new school. You know, but I don't know if we have enough active skaters to support that, and at least in the area where I'm at. You know, I'm just pointing it out. I ain't trying to argue with nobody or whatever, but I'm just like, you know, I had somebody slide up next to me and they said something to me, which I get that all the time. You know, maybe the gray in my beard, you know, whatever makes somebody comfortable to complain about certain things with me, and you know, I get it. I'm cool. You know, I ain't trying to be rude to nobody, but I ain't really trying to, you know, I ain't really trying to complain. You know what I mean? And if it is something to complain about, which was my legitimate complaint, was DJ. You need the DJ. You don't need to get two chairs, have your girlfriend up there, and y'all be on your phones while the playlist run. That's not DJing. You just have a jukebox up there for that. You know, why bring somebody down from? Why have a DJ if that's the issue? But you know, somebody said something to me. Somebody came up with this analogy that said, "Hey, if you was going out to dinner with your family, and if you found out that the waiter and the whole restaurant staff, they were all catering to your kids, only talking to your kids and not talking to you, and you paying the bill, that you might get upset." Well, yeah, that might be true. But if you at Chuck E. Cheese, I mean, that's the target market, you know? And I'm not saying that skating is like Chuck E. Cheese, but I'm just making kind of a, you know, I'm trying to fix this inside my head. You know, when people talk about, oh man, we skating ain't like it used to be. No, it ain't, because we ain't like we used to be. You know, when I was out there 19 and 20 trying to get into the adult session, you know, I can only imagine what the adults was thinking about me when I'm trying to sneak in. I'm trying to crawl in through the exit door just to be able to skate on adult night. But those adult nights back then in the 70s and 80s and early 90s, you know, they were playing current music. You know, now you got these skaters that's, you know, long in the tooth, you know, older skaters that still want to skate, but, you know, you still got that other story where it's like, I used to skate. Yeah, back when I was young, I used to, you know, people drop off. I'm tripping. I'm going off on random tangents and I'm rambling. But I just wanted to get some of that out. So look here. Y'all be careful as we all, you know, as we all try to navigate this thing here, you know, we just all trying to, I think we all just trying to skate, you know, the few of us that are out there that really enjoy skating. I think I'm one of them. You know, I ain't trying to knock nobody down. I ain't trying to get knocked down. But look, with all of this congestion, you just gotta watch out. You gotta be careful and respectful and mindful. And you know, if it's anything I had to complain about, it's just like, if you come skate, skate. You know, don't come skating and stand on the floor and be in the way. Get out the way for people that want to roll. You know, if you got your phone in your hand and you trying to Facebook Live, I mean, I get it. You know, the social media that you know, we're all connected in that way. That might be how you looking at this. It's through some kind of social media, some kind of, you know, on your phone, some kind of social interaction. I don't know. But that sometimes kind of worries me, you know, when people are so engaged somewhere else that they're not watching what, you know, what they gonna knock somebody down or fall down themselves. You know, if that's any kind of takeaway, just be careful out there. But look, that's all I got, you know. Comment if you got, you know. Comment if I spoke to you in this moment. But again, be careful. Watch yourself. It's crazy out there. Look out!